What's up, Sum Hacker? Welcome back to my Sum a Day challenge where we are continuing with completing the square. So let's get stuck into today's question. The first thing that I want to do with this expression is I want to take the coefficient of x, I want to multiply it by half and put everything to the power of 2. And that is going to equal to 1. So now the next thing I want to do is write my expression up until x. And it's at this point that I want to stick my 1 right behind negative 2x. So I'm going to say plus 1. Then immediately I'm going to put brackets around this equation. And then I am going to minus that 1. And then what I'm going to do is write what is left in my original equation, which is negative 2. Awesome. So the next step, I'm going to draw a bracket and I'm going to square it. Then I am going to simplify my q value, which is minus 1 minus 2 is equal to minus 3. Now I'm going to look at my equation just above and I see I've got x squared. And so I ask myself, what is the square root of x squared? That's going to give me x. And then I look at my c value and I ask myself, what is the square root of 1? That is going to give me 1. And then I look at the signs in my equation here. I have a negative and a positive. And so I know that my sign inside my bracket needs to be a negative, because minus 1 is going to give us minus 2, and minus 1 times minus 1 will give us 1, which is our c value. Great. So now you should see that we have an equation that is going to allow us to see very clearly what our a value is, our p value, and our q value. So now we want to ask ourselves, number 1, is this going to be a minimum or a maximum value? Because a is positive, it is going to be a minimum. Number 2, what is the actual minimum value here? We need to look at q, and q is equal to negative 3. And then number 3, we want to ask ourselves, for which values of x can we find our minimum and maximum values? So we have x minus 1 in our brackets. That is squared. You only need to write it one time. You do not need to write the exact same thing twice. So all you need to say is x minus 1 is equal to 0. And then you solve for x by taking that negative 1 over the equal sign and changing the sign. So your x value here is going to be x is equal to 1. And now you have all those 3 steps correct, where you have a minimum value, your q value, which is equal to negative 3, and then the value of x, which is 1. Well done, Sum Hacker. That is it for today. If you reached the end of this video, please let me know in the comments if this was helpful. Plus, be sure to subscribe for more daily practice sums that are going to help you nail your grade 11 maths. I can't wait to see you in the next one.